Madam Clerk, are we ready?
I think we are ready.
We'll begin this morning with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the September 10, 2015 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair. I also represent District 2. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller, representing District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Barcher, representing District 3. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, if we could start with our first item.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Are there any questions or comments regarding the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Archer to approve the consent agenda as presented, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Vouchers are totaling $864,896.85. Of those, the highest amount is $265,460.78 for Health Insurance Administration, the largest amount going to Blue Cross Blue Shield. The detention facility, $157,641.18. The largest part of that going to Horizon Health. And then Parks and Recreation, $111,434.42. So I have no questions. Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Bueller for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll make a motion to approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Next item.
Item B, Solid Waste Management Committee number 1, public hearing and consider Home Rule Resolution HR 2015-5, adopting the 2015 update of the Shawnee County Solid Waste Management Plan.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Kalis, Chair of the Solid Waste Management Committee. This plan was approved by the Solid Waste Management Committee on June 16th, and it's here today for the second reading and for a public hearing. We have 2 of the committee members here today with us, and I'd like to thank the whole committee in general, but Tom Block, who's our recycling director, and Tom Noble, who represents Silver Lake, are here. And I'd like to thank them and the whole committee for the work that they've done. And if you have any questions or there's other comments that I need to address, please feel free.
Any questions for Mr. Kalis regarding the plan? Is there any persons from the public wishing to speak regarding the adoption of the solid waste management plan? Okay. I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to open the public hearing. And again, is there any public comment regarding this waste management plan? All right. I'll make a motion then to close the public hearing and adopt the waste management plan.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to close the public hearing and adopt the solid waste management plan, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item.
Kansas Expocentre number 1, consider approval of funding for the first phase of the exhaust system improvement, purchase and installation of high-capacity fans in Landon Arena at a cost of, in fiscal year 2015, of $62,950.
Good morning, Commissioners. H.R. Cook, General Manager, Kansas Expocentre. In May, I believe, you had approved a contract with Latimer Summers, the engineering firm, to help design a better exhaust system for the Expocentre. As you know, the Blizzard Bash, our annual demolition derby, arena cross, other events do produce quite a bit of exhaust and smoke and dirt in the air, and we're looking at trying to expel that just a little bit quicker as the Blizzard Bash has now grown to past our expectations. It is now one of the largest sporting events in Topeka, even next to the NHRA finals, and they've agreed to come back in April with another one, and they've asked to see if we can increase our exhaust capacity. Latimer Summers has come back with a plan of 4 large 7-foot diameter fans that'll be placed behind, if you can picture inside Landon Arena, behind the video boards that we have in the walls. They will not be disruptive to any of the other events. They won't be making any noise if they're not running. The design of those will not impede any expansion or renovation plans that we have for the future. We have looked at different ways of exhaust going from the floor out various doors, and Latimer Summers has come up with this plan. I believe we will probably have some of the best exhaust, one of the best exhaust systems for arenas in the Midwest. So this will help us far into the future. Latimer Summers has let the bids out, and we're looking at Yule Construction as far as the steel erection, and D.L. Smith Electric. They both came in as the low bid for this first phase. Yule Construction at $19,750. D.L. Smith came in at $43,200 for this first phase. We're going to put in 2 fans in this fiscal year and 2 fans next year based upon the funding. This will not be coming out of our capital funding source because our capital funds are depleting ever so quickly for the rest of this year. With Betty Griner's assistance, we did find some additional funding in the bleacher COP. Those bids came in under bid, along with a capital source from our concessionaire, Heart of America. They infused some capital resources, and those are unused funds at this present moment. So we're looking at a combination of those 2 funds to make up the $62,000. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Next year's phase should be able to withstand inside of our capital expenditure fund.
Questions regarding the request for the installation, and Commissioner Archer?
Very quickly, this isn't just for one event.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
this will enhance experiences for other events also, not just Blizzard Bash.
No, not just Blizzard Bash. Matter of fact, we just booked a very large arena cross. We'll have close to 100 motorcycles in December that we're going to be releasing information on. It'll help out with that. Our monster truck shows that are in there, even our concerts that have a lot of pyro. When you go to a concert and they have the pyro, and a lot of times you'll see that haze, we'll be able to expel that within 1 minute. So,
And the other, if I may, is this is in line with upgrades that we're going to make with sales tax money, and we discussed this. Would you talk about that for a minute?
yes, the exhaust system itself doesn't impede any construction or design plans that we have. It was actually built into some of our plans that we did have as far as increased exhaust. So this is not something we'll have to move and place somewhere else. Once it's in place, that's where it's going to stay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Other questions?
And this has also been vetted with Bill Kroll, Facility Management,
Yes, sir.
and it's consistent with his view of how the facility should be maintained.
Yes, Bill has reviewed the plans and hasn't found any deficiencies in those plans, and the advisory board has reviewed them and approved them unanimously.
This time, I would make a motion to approve the request for the funding.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item D, corrections. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 349-2015, amendment to the food services contract with Aramark, incorporating a 3.1% increase in the price per meal cost in line with the projected consumer price index.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. Before you is our addendum, our yearly or annual addendum with our contract with Aramark Food Services, who provide the food services for our Department of Corrections and our inmates and juveniles. This is the price is based off the consumer price index, and they did see a 3.1% increase, which we did budget for in the year of 2016. We did meet with Betty regarding just knowing that we were going to have this come up in our budget. This is our 13th addendum. We've had Aramark for a long time, but we have gone out for bid in the past here. I can't remember the last time, but it's been here recent that we've gone out to bid, and they were successful in being rewarded a bid. So, and then we do plan to put this out for bid again here soon, because we always think it's a good practice to put this out and to see what other markets are out there. But Aramark has met our needs. They do keep the prices down. Our food service does meet and exceed the standards of nutrition and calories for both adult and juvenile menus. Like I said before, we do get audited by Kansas Department of Health and Environment. They come in. We also are audited by the marshals in the U.S. Federal government that come in because we house their inmates. And we recently had the ACA who came in and did an audit, and our kitchen's up to standard. And obviously, I think everybody knows that probably, by this time next year, we'll have a bigger kitchen, in which we should be able to be opened up, I believe, in March, May, right in through that area next year. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Director Cole?
I'll move to,
Go ahead.
I'll move to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Well, after a hefty fight over who gets to make the motion, Commissioner Archer makes the motion, Commissioner Bueller makes the second. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item.
Item E, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to extend the contract period to April 15, 2016 for the purchase of the de-icing salt in the amount up to $223,960.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Black with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item, and as you may recall, last year we did a joint bid with the City of Topeka to acquire de-icing materials, and the winning bidder was Central Salt. They have extended the offer to extend that contract period at the same price for this year. We think it would be in our interest to do so. So that is the request, is to continue the contract for an additional year with Central Salt at the price of $55.99 per ton for salt, and the allotment that we have in our agreement is up to 4,000 tons. Hopefully we don't use that much. Last year we hardly used any due to the weather, but I think 4,000 typically on a typical winter will be more than we need, but you just never know when we might get a winter that's worse than normal, and we like to have that allotment, I guess, reserved for us. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. And this is also some quantities for the 2 townships that we maintain their roads for also.
Any questions regarding this? I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity that if anybody from the public or department head has any items to bring to the commission for our attention or consideration.
Commissioners, H.R. Cook, General Manager, Expocentre again. Just a reminder, there is a lot of stuff going on this weekend with the duck race, and but one of the major items this weekend is opening weekend for hockey. Roadrunners hockey opens up this weekend with Wichita Wildcats on Friday and Saturday. Both games at 7:05. Friday night, they are promoting a special of $5 tickets for those who have served in the military, both active and retired. Also, any emergency personnel, firefighters, police, ambulance, anybody who can produce an ID at the box office. Those people will be able to purchase tickets for $5. So that is their special this weekend. We hope to see everybody there. There are plenty of good tickets left.
And then we also have Darius Rucker coming up.
Darius Rucker coming up this October. Well, we're full. I mean, I was going to save that for another administrative communication, of course. But also, on a more personal item, I've been helping Post 421, American Legion Post 421. They have a charity motorcycle ride this Saturday, which starts at the Harley-Davidson dealership. It is a military history ride this weekend, ends at the VA. Proceeds go to help those soldiers and families that are suffering or going through treatment for PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. So there's a lot of silent sufferers of PTSD that they need their help, and Post 421 does a lot of work for them. So hope to see everybody out there for that one too.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Scott Garcia, Emergency Management. As Director Nichols pointed out last week, September is National Preparedness Month. And with that being said, I just want to talk to you guys about floods. What are floods? Flood is an overwhelming amount of water that covers usually areas that are dry. Flooding may happen within a few inches of water, or it can always go up to your roof. It kind of depends on what it is. Flooding can happen during any time of the year. In the Midwest, we're more at risk during spring and heavy rainfalls. Flooding can occur in a number of ways. There either be so much rain that rivers and lakes can't contain all the water and you got overflow, or there's excessive rain that all the water can't get absorbed by the ground, or waterways can be blocked by debris such as tree branches, leaves, anything that can slow down the water flow. Flooding can cause fatalities and serious injuries for those who are trapped or swept away. Do not attempt to wade or go through flooding waters. To avoid potential harm when flood waters threaten your area, to protect yourself and your loved ones, you want to make sure the best action is to evacuate the flooding areas if it's already started. If it hasn't started, But if it already has started, do not enter flooding or moving water. Go to the high point. Just get away from it if it's already started. Potential ways to protect your property would include elevating critical utilities such as electrical panels, switches, sockets, wirings, appliances, and heating systems. Make sure your basement, if you have one, is waterproofed and that your sump pump is working. Always make sure you have a battery-operated backup for power outage for your sump pump in case power is out. Thank you, and remember, turn around, don't drown. And I'd also like to point out, Friday, Saturday, this weekend and next weekend, we do have a CERT Academy, and we have good attendance, and anyone that's wanting to attend, feel free to give us a call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Good morning, Commissioner. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. Just wanted, HR Cook tried to steal my thunder, but I'm back up here to talk about the Huff and Puff and Duck Race that we have this weekend. Two huge events at Lake Shawnee. The Huff and Puff, it's the 40th annual Huff and Puff, and they have the big events Friday night, and then Saturday morning, Saturday night, and then again Sunday morning. Generally, we've come up here and asked for the commissioners to ride balloons. We have Commissioner Cook has volunteered again, and I believe the commissioners have historically all taken advantage of these. No, I guess all of the commissioners have not taken advantage of these. Anyway, we also have going on Saturday afternoon the duck race and also the Civitan car show at Gage Park on Saturday. So we have quite a few things going on. This year, Commissioner Cook is. I think you're still riding in a balloon this year. So.
As far as I know, I am.
You didn't want any of your enemies to know what day or time, I understand.
They're just as beautiful from the ground. Yeah. Aren't they?
Any other administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Bueller?
We had a JADO meeting, of course, last night, and approved the contracts for the two companies that are here in Topeka. I appreciate Scott Griffith, the board chair for Go Topeka. He gave a chair report to JADO, and I think that was very helpful. Hopefully it was helpful for the public, and made some announcements about potentially looking on putting their minutes on their website and their agendas, and so I think that will be helpful. Certainly an effort to improve communication and understanding of economic development, the relationship between JADO and Go Topeka, so that was welcomed.
Absolutely.
So.
I look forward to hearing from you as you report back from the Intergovernmental Relations
Oh, yes,
Committee
yeah.
regarding the broadband initiative.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I think that's a very, very important piece of our community, and I look forward to seeing how all the different branches of government can come together to help that initiative move forward.
You too, thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Archer?
Yeah, and some of the priorities we talked about were broadband availability, doing a better job with existing businesses, and also small business and entrepreneurial businesses in our community. And I wanted to also thank Scott Griffith, who has done an excellent job as the chair of Go Topeka. And I thought the mayor spoke up well, and touted the things that JADO and Go Topeka have done for our community, and I want to thank the mayor for doing that also. So that's all I had, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. My takeaway from the JADO meeting last night was more in relation to, we had a discussion regarding excess funds. These are funds that are left over because our public works, both for the city and the county, have been good tax stewards. They've been able to make the projects come in on time, under budget, and so we have funds left over. That's always a good thing. And sometimes we don't tout our successes maybe as vocally as we should or as well as we should. And so I know that Tom, you and your staff work very hard to make sure the projects are done efficiently, cost effectively, and also make sure that we're making accounting and responsibility not just to Shawnee County, but to the JADO board as well. And that board does meet on a quarterly basis or an annual basis to review how the projects are coming in. And we have one project left for 2016, which is the City of Topeka for 21st and Urish. And so I look forward to their commitment to having that completed within the 2016 year, as they indicated to us last night. And so looking forward to moving that project forward for the citizens of the Shawnee County and City of Topeka. Also, tonight is Washburn's home opener. I know it may be a little bit odd not having a Bueller at the game, but I wish Washburn the best of luck as we take on the Lopers of Nebraska. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 6, executive session.
There is not a need for an executive session. We are adjourned.
The Lopers?
The Lopers.
Kearney.
School is that?
Kearney, Nebraska.
What school is that?
University of Nebraska, Kearney.
Kearney.